Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It's Christian Men's Illustrated, the podcast. Jeremiah Johnson, Jake Waters, and Greg Walden in the house. How you doing, Greg Walden and Jake Waters?
Blessed.
What are you thankful for, right? It's a big question.
Everything.
Everything?
Life, freedom, just the ability to worship God.
Yep. Praise God.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for Jake Waters and Greg Walden. That's what I'm grateful for.
I'm thankful for you guys, too.
Podcast. So
Big time.
yeah, I guess not necessarily a Thanksgiving special, but we're heading into the Thanksgiving season. And I'm not the biggest of turkey guy, like doesn't do that much for me. I still go back to this. It was like 10, 15 years ago now. I think my mom did ribeye steaks one time for Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, why don't we do this? This is way better.
I would do a steak over
Let's
turkey.
just do this. Get rid of the turkey idea. Anyway, so any special traditions you guys have? I'm going to do a Southwest Missouri Thanksgiving, nothing too special. So,
Well, I think I'm heading up to my wife's sister's. That's what we pretty much do most Thanksgivings.
all right.
Go up there and he cooks. They actually don't. I don't think they have to. They usually have ham and brisket.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
covering
Brisket. Throw the brisket
Yeah.
there. Awesome. Well, Christian Men's Illustrated, we appreciate you guys as we've started this podcast and getting it up and going here each and every week. So thank you for that. You can follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Those are our primary ones. And I've been throwing up a lot more YouTube shorts, so make sure to subscribe to the Christian Men's Illustrated YouTube channel. It's becoming like food review.
Yeah.
I've done pork rind review on there, did some shakaroni pizza review on the shorts. So check out the shorts page and the YouTube page in general. So, all right, let's turn over some stories. We talk about stuff guys like. So should we go football? We'll wait football in just a second. I had a couple other ones. Speaking of steak, Greg Walden, you're kind of a connoisseur of the smoking. Have you been smoking lately? Not like cigarettes or nicotine.
No.
I'm talking about meat. Cocaine, marijuana, none of that stuff smoking. I'm talking about smoking meats.
No.
I should clarify. You're a good smoker of the meats.
Yeah, I love smoking meat, but I haven't had a chance to do it this year. My
Okay.
wife gets kind of, let's say highly opinionated when I go out and cook some smoked meat. So
Yeah.
she's more concerned about the mess in the kitchen. So so I kind of have to keep it to a minimum.
Well, I found an article. It's called I asked 3 butchers how to choose the best steak. They all said the same thing. This was from MSN.com. A good steak sizzling on the grill or basting in a pan is a true delight. When you find the best steak, you're rewarded with a tender, juicy piece of meat that is worthy of celebration. But with so many cuts to choose from, it can be intimidating to pick the right steak for each meal. What is your guys' favorite cut of meat? I guess I'm the ribeye guy at the end of the day. But
Ribeye is awesome. Ribeye, you can't go wrong with ribeye. Prime rib is delicious.
Filet mignon.
Oh, okay. The article continues on. After World War II, the rise of supermarket edged out the neighborhood butcher as shoppers began to seek convenience in a one-stop shop. Fortunately, over the last decade, small butchers have started to make a comeback as conscious eaters have recognized the value of cultivating a relationship with skilled professionals who can guide our shopping choice. Yeah, do you guys have a butcher anymore? I remember I got to work in the meat department the last year of working at a grocery store. It was epic being in the butcher shop.
Our local Clouds here, they're really good. I like getting meat from them.
Yep.
They got Borden's there in Webb City. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so all 3 of the butchers I spoke to agree that choosing the best steak is all about knowing what you like and how you want to use it. Cawthon's biggest tip is pick the steak that makes you hungry, meaning don't settle for what you think you're supposed to want. Think of steak as a special treat and choose what excites you. So he also added a thick steak is easier to cook than a thin one. Did you know this?
Thick steak's the best way to go.
So when it comes to grilling, especially choose a cut with a little more heft. For New York strip, for 2 people, I recommend 1.5 to 2 inches thick. Says this butcher on a ribeye more like a heavy 1.5 inches that allows for searing on each side and then indirect heat.
I'm telling you guys, if you want a steak that'll knock your socks off, and the best way is not to rush it, but look into sous vide. It's a SOUSVID. It's a French word for basically water cooking or hot water bath. It's cooking in hot water. And you've had some of my soup, years ago. I gave you, even with hamburger. I'm telling you right now, that stuff is some good stuff. You sous vide a steak around 135 for about 2.5 hours, give or take. I mean, obviously, but the nice thing about sous vide is you can't overcook it because it's only going to go to that internal temperature you set the hot water to, and you set it there for about 2.5 hours or so, 3 hours. You take it out, pat dry it, then you put it on a grill that's really hot, searing like 500-degree hot.
Yep.
And you sear it for about 90 seconds on each side, and don't forget the other sides. let it rest for about 10 minutes. Throw a big old gob of butter on it. Let the butter melt into that. I'm telling you right now, tell you better.
Sous vide. You look like you have a very pondering type look on your face there, Jake. Have you done the sous vide before?
No,
I have not.
So do you do it in just like a Pyrex
seal
pan?
it?
You kind of like
You seal it in a bag,
Okay.
and then just put it in the water.
Oh,
set
okay.
the temp and like cook it in water.
okay.
It's
I got
kind of weird to me. It tastes good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. It's definitely a Greg Walden thing for sure.
Now you've had the hamburger.
It's really good.
You've had a sous vide hamburger before.
Yeah.
They used to have those bison, not the bison, but the what do they call those? Wagyu burgers. Well, not real Wagyu, but Sam's Club. They had pre-made. I sous vide those. I sous vide the burgers.
Okay.
And then and you've had them.
Yeah. The sous vide is just like lots of effort, prep. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
But like with even with smoking, low and slow.
Slow. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So get a steak for Thanksgiving instead of turkey. That's what I'm going for. So
You guys like ham?
I like ham.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Yeah. Once in a while.
Spiral cut with a little thin little.
Double smoked is actually. I made double smoked ham for Thanksgiving about 2 years ago.
Ooh.
I made a special bourbon sauce. I mean, obviously the alcohol burns off, but you make this honey as a bourbon sauce with other stuff in it, but make it kind of sweet, and you put some pineapple in there. And,
Yep. Yep.
And you smoke it, and you just kind of glaze it every 30 seconds on the smoker. About it takes about 5 hours total. And I tell you what, that ham turned out really delicious.
I bet. Sounds good.
Greg's a good master of that kind of stuff. The sous vide, the smoking. You're good at it, Greg. Good job, man. I don't got those skills. So, all right, I'm not sure how we segue into Kim Kardashian, but you want to talk about Kim Kardashian for just a minute? Sure. Okay, I'm really disappointed in this because I'm not the biggest Kim Kardashian fan. But Kim Kardashian posts video testing Tesla Optimus AI robot and Cybercab. There's no driver. So I think I'm out now. If Kim Kardashian's in on the Cybercab, I think I have to bounce out of it now. Just all right. Kim Kardashian thinks the latest Tesla tech is insane. In a series of videos posted to her Instagram story Monday, the reality TV star and entrepreneur gave fans a peek at the new Tesla Cybercab and Optimus AI robot recently unveiled by founder Elon Musk. We talked about this a little bit. Kardashian posted a video playing rock, paper, scissors with Optimus, a human-sized AI robot that Musk has promised can babysit your kids or help around the house. When the robots debuted last month, however, the tech was operated by handlers rather than autonomously. It was unclear in Kardashian's Instagram videos whether the robot was operating on its own or if a handler was nearby. So Kim Kardashian, she's a big fan of Tesla. She's got the Cybercab, the Optimus AI robot, and all that kind of stuff. So,
But she posted a picture of her holding hands with a thing.
yeah, and then she posted one holding hands with it.
Yeah.
So now I'm creeped out. I wasn't. Makes me creeped out. Kim Kardashian holding hands with the Tesla robot.
Now you didn't see the story afterwards, right? The robot actually went and jumped into a lake.
Yeah, it goes. It all. When you connect with hook up with the Kardashian, it goes bad after that. Don't do it, Optimus. Okay. So anyway, there you go. Here's where I'm at. You guys know I'm a big fan of the tech, autonomous driving, all that. I'm totally game for it. But I think the robots are really far away. Like robots just hanging. Being human. I just think we're really far away from that. The autonomous driving, things that we're close in that. I think AI is like, just as far as the information is like, AI is definitely coming down the pipe a lot faster than like a humanoid, fully functioning humanoid robot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think in 10 years, it's going to be a huge difference of like, it's really going to be the telltale.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my claim to fame was like back in the day, Kim Kardashian got into Christianity. She had her Christianity phase. She wanted to start like a Bible study in small group, and I tweeted her. I'm like, hey, shoot me. I'll help you out if you need to or whatever. And I reached out to her, no response. But
No?
yeah,
Oh, dang.
it's gonna help her out. Give her some advice and small group leader, all that kind of stuff.
Hey, you're not up there at the Joel Osteen level.
Right. So anyway, Kim Kardashian, she loves the Tesla. I guess that's where Kim and I come into agreement on that. So we do have one thing in common, Kim K and I. All right, big weekend of NFL football. Jake Waters, man, what's going on in the NFL?
Okay, so the Seahawks won. And
Okay.
then I looked, and I just got in late last night, so I was able to see that. But then I looked at the score of the Chiefs and the Panthers game. How did the Panthers score that much?
Because the Chiefs,
That's crazy.
man. I don't know.
Pat Mahomes addressed it after the game. He said, I want more blowouts. He's like, I'm sick of these close games. 8 of their wins this season, 8 of the 10 have been by a touchdown or less.
Yep.
So Pat Mahomes getting frustrated.
Well, man, it's the Chiefs, man.
Because what was that, 27? The Panthers scored 27 on them? That's crazy.
Well, the defense is getting, I think the defense is getting worn out because the offense, the Chiefs ain't winning because their offense.
Third quarter. So where I kind of started checking out was the Chiefs were up, was it 20-9 or 20-6? And I'm like, oh, they got it in the bag. Well, that was after the halftime. I thought they'd cruise. I didn't think they were going to dominate. I thought it was going to be like 13 points, something like that. Well, Carolina took up 9 minutes. I think 8 to 9 minutes in the third quarter on the one drive, scored a touchdown. Yeah, like you're saying, gassing out the defense. Then they come back. They got to win it in the end. But so Mahomes not too happy with this 10-1 record right now. It's like, come on, guys.
Yep.
Well, I was on Facebook and somebody was like, problem is the 10-1. Their 10-1 record isn't really perfectly reflective of the skill of the team this year. I'm sorry. It's just a lot of it was there's a lot of luck games this year, and the defense really. The offense is getting sloppy. That one guy, Javon Taylor, he's the most penalized, one of the most penalized players in the league. This dude's like a penalty magnet. It's like they need to really do something with him.
Travis Kelce's looking all emo all the time. I think the Taylor
depressed.
Swift, he looks depressed,
Yes,
emo all the time. Even when he catches a ball, I'm like, oh no, this is going downhill. This Taylor Swift thing. So the Vikings get a win, 30-27 over the Bears. So they're 9-2. They're kind of a fake team. I don't want to say fake, but like I don't think they're a championship contender at this point. The Lions, I think, is your number one team in the NFC. 10-1. They get a win over the Colts, 24-6. Patriots. Spanked once again, 34-15. They're now 3-9, the Patriots. So gone are the days of championship contention. Yeah, for those Patriots, need to get Brady back or something. The Buccaneers get a win, 30-7 over the Giants. They're 5-6. They're still alive in that particular division. The Cowboys, did you see this one? They win.
I saw
with
that they won.
The kickoff return in the end. The guy muffs it, picks it up, does like this crazy spin move. Runs it
I saw that.
the length of the field.
It was dope.
Cowboys get the win. They're 4-7.
Jerry Jones has to be defibrillated after that.
Yeah.
Well, we actually won.
Yeah. But again, they're kind of in a spot now. It's like you either have to win all your games if you're the Cowboys or lose all of them. Because if you if you like win half of them, you're going to get a bad draft pick.
Exactly.
If you win, so it's like.
They're not going to win every one of them,
Right. So I say just keep losing. No. Yep. Chiefs 30-27. The Titans get a win over the Texans 32-27, which was an upset game there. So they are 3-8. The Broncos coming alive.
Yep. Bo Nix.
29-19 over the Raiders. Not a big surprise win there, but Bo Nix is looking good.
Yep.
Sean Payton coaching them up. So they're viable.
He's getting better every game.
Right. Yeah. Sean Payton turning things around there. The Packers, a big win over the 49ers, 38-10. And the 49ers are now, to me, a scratch-off team. I think they're done for the year. Too many injuries. Purdy's out.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't miss them in the playoffs.
Seahawks, your Seahawks get a 16-6 win over the Cardinals. They're 6-5. And then we got the Eagles with a thrashing, taking behind the woodshed, the Rams, 37-20. Yeah. And the big storyline of that game was Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 255 yards.
Yep.
2 TDs. So there you go. That's stout running. And then so we have, I'll just go the top the card on the divisions. Buffalo Bills are number 1, 9-2. And the AFC East, Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-3. AFC North, although they lost to the Browns. That was bad. AFC South, Texans, 7-5. Chiefs, 10-1. And the Chargers and the Broncos, they're tied. Well, they both got 7 wins. So we'll see what happens with those two teams vying for second place. The Eagles, they now look like they're in control of the NFC East, 9-2. Detroit Lions are going to get the NFC North, 10-1. NFC South, Atlanta Falcons, 6-5. That's still a toss-up there. Tampa Bay, 5-6. So we'll see what happens there. I think Atlanta will get it. And then the Seahawks tied right now, although they got that game over the Cardinals, so that gets them the tiebreaker game over the Cardinals. So, So it looks like NFC, it's going to be Philadelphia or Detroit.
Detroit.
I think it's going to be Detroit.
And then in the AFC, it looks like maybe we'll get another rematch again, or we'll get a matchup, Buffalo versus Kansas City, potentially.
I don't think Kansas City is going to go this year. I'm sorry.
You don't? They're going to fold at some point?
I think they're going to get beat by Denver. I think they'll get beat by Denver in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It could happen.
It feels like it, but again, what happened last year, they looked like very average.
And then they just keep on trucking.
Yeah.
They turned it around. So we'll see what happens in the NFL. Let's bounce over to some NCAA football talk because my Colorado Buffaloes,
Did they win or no?
they lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
to who?
They got by KU.
What?
KU.
They got
So KU's
thrashed
coming in.
37-21. I'm fine with this because I don't think they're ready yet. I don't think they're ready for the prime time,
Right.
should we say. They're going to finish up. Now they're 8-3. I think they will get their next win, which will make them 9-3. So from 1-11 before the season before Coach Prime came, a losing, horrible program, to then 4 wins, and they almost won a handful of those games, touchdown or less. Then now in year 2 already, to get to 9-3, I think that's success.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'd rather go I know you don't want to think this way, but I'd rather them go to a bowl game, like a mid-level bowl game, and win it,
Yep.
than go to the playoffs and just get thrashed.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what would happen. I think if they went to the 12-man playoff, they're just not quite there to.
Help them build some confidence.
Yeah, exactly. So, because in this example, what happened in this particular game is that their running back, KU's running back, who is D. Neal, I forget what his first name is, 37 carries for 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. So they don't do well against the run, and then on top of that, he's one of the top backs in the country. So if they go to the playoffs, they're just going to get ran over, and there you go. So rounding out the rest of the top 25 is we had, I lost it there, Indiana gets beat by Ohio State, 38-15. So goodbye to Indiana. Texas, 31-14 over Kentucky. I still think they're a little fake. I'm not for sure if they're real or not. Penn State wins 26-25. Tight win over University of Minnesota. Notre Dame beats Army, who was number 19 in the country, 49-14. So Army had 1 loss. Now 2 losses. They're definitely going to get booted out of the playoff system. Notre Dame stays in there. Oklahoma, the big upset. This was the upset of the week. Oklahoma beats Alabama 24-3.
Dang.
So number 7 Alabama spanked by the Oklahoma Sooners. So, all right. I did watch the Miami game. Miami over Wake Forest 42-14. So, because I go Miami, you remember back in the day, Miami was like from my high school years when they were really
They were
good.
good, yeah.
It was Nebraska versus University of Miami a lot. So Miami, they still are etched in my memory as a child and as a teenager. They get the win. They're looking like they're bound at the playoffs. Ole Miss gets beat by Florida. I watched this game. Ole Miss was number 9, 8-3 in the SEC, but they get beat. Say goodbye to the playoffs. The Gators got them. So say goodbye to the playoffs. Georgia, number 10, gets a 59-21 win over UMass. Not a big deal there. Tennessee, 56-0.
Dang.
Over UTEP, but they're UTEP, so they're still alive. Boise State 17-3 over Wyoming. They're still in it for the playoffs, so we'll see what happens. Number 13 SMU gets a 33-7 win over Virginia, and then BYU, they're falling. The Mormons are falling. They lose 28-23 against Arizona State. So I keep telling my son, BYU, they always schedule really light the front half and middle of the season. So you can, it's almost not like the Cowboys, but they look like they're going to be good every year. And then they get that 1 loss, 2 loss, and then it's like, see you later. They're not a real
See ya.
national
I'm
champ. So, so Coach Prime, he had the quote of the week, though. I got to figure out how to use this in the sermon. He's like, we got intoxicated by success. We got humbled.
Yep.
So Coach Prime is great, man. You got to
good.
post. I always listen to his post presser. And you get some good nuggets there from
You know, the sad thing about the Oklahoma win is that there's somebody right now at the VA wearing a pink Colorado T-shirt with a sparkly, glittery words of Colorado. Because a guy I used to work with up there at the CMOP, he was a big Oklahoma fan, and he liked to go around making he don't like making money bets, but he would bet like his team would win. If you lose, you had to wear his team's T-shirt.
Okay.
And he wouldn't just like, okay, you have to wear Oklahoma shit. He would go for the really humiliating factor and make you wear a women's pink shirt with the glitter on it. I mean,
Right.
I was like, yeah, it was like, don't make any sports bets with Doug Machino, man.
Yeah.
So like somebody's wearing a pink Oklahoma shirt right now.
Yeah.
I got a lot of college football on this Saturday. It felt really good. I haven't had that much college football in for quite a while. So
It's addicting. You're like, boom, this one. I can't get stuck on it.
And what's nice is I don't know if it's legal or not legal. I'm just saying it's letting me play it. So I'm
go for it.
Is YouTube is like showing a lot more college football games, like the Florida
Yep.
game on there. Who Florida get beat by? Who did I just say? I just took it out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I watch Colorado. I watch a bunch of college football. I actually had a very down Saturday.
Missouri
game.
won.
Missouri won.
Yeah,
Okay.
Missouri won.
Okay, good.
So they're not in the top 25. But rounding out the top 25 as of right now, according to the AP, number 1, Oregon, undefeated. Number 2, Ohio State. 3, Texas. 4, Penn State. 5, Notre Dame. 6, Georgia. 7, Tennessee. 8, Miami. 9, SMU. 10, Indiana. 11, Boise State. 12, Clemson. 13, Alabama. They follow the top 12, probably out of the playoffs. 14, Arizona State. They jumped up there. Ole Miss drops to number 15. They're probably out of the playoffs. South Carolina, they are 16. Iowa State, number 17. Tulane, ooh, a little college Mountain West school, I think. 18, BYU. 19, Texas A&M is 20. 21, UNLV. 22, Illinois. Colorado drops all the way to 23. I'm a little disappointed in that. They free for all there.
Wait a minute, it shows Missouri is 23.
I'm sorry. This is the AP. What you got there?
Oh, I don't know. It's FBS.
FBS, okay. So a little bit different, just AP. 24 is Missouri, and then 25 Army. So Missouri's still in there. I apologize to you, Missouri.
They're bringing up the caboose.
Yep. I am excited, though, for the playoff to see how this unfolds. The playoff system with NCAA college football. Definitely excited for that. And the bowls are interesting because there's like 60 bowl games, like college bowl games. There's
How do
like way
those
too many.
work?
So the bowl games is just like anyone can do one. We could have like Grace Point Church Bowl. I think it's
Okay.
just a matter of money and sponsorship and all that kind of stuff. And some of them are very traditional, and certain ones mean more than other ones. And yeah,
Okay.
but back in the day, it used to be like the old school was like the Big Ten champion always played the
Like the Rose Bowl.
Pac-12 champion in the Rose Bowl, and
Yep.
there's like they had the system, like certain teams played certain people, and then when you get to these mid to lower bowls, there's like my understanding is there's like contracts or like certain teams will always play, like BYU will always play in the Las Vegas Bowl
Okay.
if they're eligible. They'll take them. It's a free for all anymore. So like Colorado, they're going to get it, even though they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to get a good bowl because they're popular.
Okay.
So one of those bowls are going to want them
Yep.
because they're going to sell tickets
Yeah.
and they're going to make money. So like,
It's all money on that one.
yeah. So like, let's say like Tulane, like no one cares about Tulane. So
Yeah.
like Tulane, if they don't make the playoffs, they're just going to get a little cheesy bowl because every bowl is going to be like, we don't want Tulane. We're not any money or whatever.
Yeah.
Nebraska, someone's going to want Nebraska. Why?
Yep.
Because they travel well. They have a history. They have a fan base. They haven't made a bowl for a while, so they know like we can sucker these like Nebraska. They don't do anything, man. They don't even, well, like what do they do with their lives? They're going to spend all their money to come to this bowl game. We'll work them over. So
So they're kind of like a fight promoter. They're
Yeah,
like putting two
exactly.
People together,
Yep,
like,
yep.
yeah, this team's
Yeah.
got some hype, and then
Yeah.
we'll put this one together.
Yep.
I
Sorry.
gotcha.
Sorry to my Nebraska. I am Nebraskan. It's the reality. That's going to be like, so there's teams like that have fan bases that will travel. They know we can make a lot of money, et cetera, those kind of things. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. Any other final football thoughts there? Sadly.
Who do you think, Chargers or Ravens tonight?
Oh, Chargers or Ravens?
Ooh, that's a tight one.
Oh, yeah. It's the Harbaugh Bowl. That's right. We forgot about that.
I'm going to pick the
Harbaugh
Ravens.
brothers
I'm
going
picking
against
the
the
Ravens.
Yeah, I'm picking the Ravens.
I'll take the Chargers. God, I think Jim Harbaugh, he's still hurting from that Super Bowl loss to his brother back in the day. And he's, do you remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't? That's when, what's his name? The dude that hates the cops, Kaepernick, played
yeah.
for the Niners, the Harbaugh brothers in the Super Bowl. I remember that game vividly because I was coming back from it. I was in Mexico City in a random hotel coming back from a mission trip, and the power went out in that game. You remember that game? That's the Super
yeah.
Bowl.
Okay, yep,
It's
yep.
the Harbaugh brothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Niners are crushing it. I mean, they look like they're cruising to Super Bowl victory. The power goes out.
Yep.
The game is like off for like an hour or something like that. They come back. It totally changes the dynamic of the whole thing. And the Ravens come back and win it.
Yep.
There you go.
So
So
that
I
was
think 2014.
That was a while
13.
back.
I know if I was his brother, I'd remember that. I'd be like, I will never forget that moment, bro. Just remember when come Monday night.
He's like, I got the light switch.
Yep. Yeah. Come Monday night, I'm bringing all the pain. Everything is coming with me. So
Yep.
yeah, it's like, do you use negative motivate? I'm motivated by negativity. Sadly, I don't know if that's always the best thing, but are you motivated? For example, like a couple years back when I did the bike ride. I did the Katy Trail in 2 days, 120 miles a day. I knocked that one out. I failed in 1 day, but when I did it in 2 days, I got motivated by one pastor friend of mine. He's like, "What makes you think you can do that?"
Then
And
that
it
was your
made me
determination.
mad. Yeah, it made me
Yeah.
mad. And I used anger as fuel.
Yep.
Is that bad?
No, it's
Cycled it off.
I did, yeah. So he's like, no, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm like, well, felt bad, man. And I'm taking that with me.
Yeah.
I'm like Tom Brady, rage. So
I'd say I'm more influenced positively. But
Yeah.
I could also, I don't know, it could go both ways.
it's like when that last time you told me my sermon was okay, I used that fuel. To
What?
The next, I'm just kidding. No. That was okay. No, just kidding. You can't hit home runs every time. Preaching as much as I do, you can't hit a home run every time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Absolutely. You got the Holy Spirit.
So anyway, there we go. I do want to give a shout out to Jameis Winston though. He, after the win, this is cool, out of churchleaders.com.
I love him.
He was like, let's see, let me just read it here. Both before and after his Cleveland Browns won a wild wintry football game Thursday night, veteran quarterback Jameis Winston quoted scripture and thanked God on national television. Before the Browns faced the AFC North rival, Pittsburgh reporter Kaylee Harton asked the quarterback how a victory would feel. The horse is preparing for battle, but victory comes from the Lord, replied Winston. Yeah, so I'm dependent on the Lord. That's what he said. And then afterward, he quoted, what did he quoted? Scripture. Oh, yeah, he quoted Proverbs 3:5. He said, one of my favorite Bible verses is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, said Winston. I may not know what's going on, but I've got faith that I can make something happen at any single time.
Yes.
Boom. Shout out to hand clap there for Jameis Winston. I like that because, again, I wasn't the biggest Tebow fan because he was more corny. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes he was like corny in his Christianity, but
Right.
Winston, I like.
Did you watch that little interview where she was asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just like, I'm just happy to be here. I love God pretty much. Just, let's go.
Because I think there can be, and he wasn't like, I don't know. I just don't like when there's that over the top, like, it's just like follow up the actions with the words, right?
Yep.
So words and actions, it's like, you don't have to be this, big talking Christian. Like he was just like, hey man, like I was ready for battle, but my victory comes from the Lord. And he wasn't like arrogant and cocky. And I guess there's an element of Coach Prime. I'm a Coach Prime fan, but anyway, so yeah, praise God.
No, I really like him.
There you go. So I wanted spiritual thought for the day. I want to say this with the right perspective. So I was really munching on this the other day when I read through Proverbs, because I read through the yearly Bible, and then got to Proverbs 19:6. And it says, many curry favor with a ruler, and everyone is a friend of one who gives gifts. And that's so I kind of just landed, and I was just like thinking about that for a while. So this can kind of be a good and a bad thing. So I have a funny story. So when I started driving this bus, like it's funny just being a bus driver, like kids, and it's a whole sub community of workers in the school. But you have like these bus aides, and it's hilarious when I drive bus, like all these bus aides congregate in the break room. And this like at your workplace, right? The break room, they're all talking, gossip. It's all going down there. So big talkers in there, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's just getting
So
stirred.
I had this bus aide, Paula. So like I would intentionally, like every once in a while, I'd go get donuts in the morning for her. And I'd wait till they're all gathering together, and I'd walk in and I'd be like, hey, Paula, I got you some donuts.
Yeah. Just
and everyone would be like, oh, man. Oh, am I going to get some donuts? And it's like, no, I got them from my bus aide. Like, I talked to your driver.
Yeah.
And so, and then make her feel really special, right? But at the same time, so it's actually kind of not that godly. It's kind of manipulative anyway. Right. So, but I wanted her to make her feel special. I did sincerely want to do that. So then I had this other bus aide for over the summer, and I found out she liked Dr. Pepper. So I went and bought like a case of Dr. Pepper. I'd bring her one every single day.
Right.
So then the next school year, every time they're all talking in the break room, Jeremiah gets me Dr. Pepper. Jeremiah gets me Dr. Pepper. Jeremiah gets me like I was the king, right? And all the other drivers are like, are you going to get me something to drink? I'm like, nope, you're not my bus aide. Sorry. Talk to your driver. So anyway, my current bus aide, I found out that she liked Pepsi. So I got her Pepsi the other day. And then the other day, because I'm really good at making Rice Krispies, I made her a fresh pan of Rice Krispies.
Ooh, damn.
Take them in there. Yep. I get in my bus and I'm like, Paula, I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. I give her a pan of Rice Krispies. And then I watch her go into the break room, and I stay far enough away where I can hear it. Yeah. I walk, so I walk her go in there, and she's like, Jeremiah made me Rice Krispies. And she told every single person. She's just like touting it, like, look at this. I got a full pan of Rice Krispies from that guy over there.
Yeah.
So what am I trying to say is like I manipulate people? No, I'm just kidding. But it's like there's power in blessing people
There
and
is.
giving gifts to people.
Yep.
Like there's a real, it makes people feel special and loved.
It does.
And so when it's done, you can do it in a wrong way, right? You can do
Yeah.
it with the art of manipulation. Like I'm just giving you a gift so that, with bad intentions or manipulative intentions. But I find that there's like a real beauty to just blessing someone with a gift. Mm-hmm. And it gives you favor, right?
Yeah.
So those three ladies now, I call it the love triangle now at the break room. But it's, it's like, well, Jeremiah gave me Rice Krispies. Oh, yeah, well, he gave me Dr. Pepper. Oh, yeah, well, he buys me donuts.
Right.
And now I'm going to be super poor because I got to buy all these people stuff all the time.
Yeah.
But, there's like just a real power when I was reading that verse of like, when you give a gift to someone, it grants you favor and blessing. And it's a good thing to do it. It's a good thing. I try to now. Like I make monkey bread. That's my other thing. So I'm getting ready to make monkey bread for all these old ladies in our church.
Okay.
Oh, this live stream, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, I'm getting ready to make monkey bread and putting the list together because you know what I don't do? I want to just, make that monkey bread and I want to go give it to them and just be like, man, Jesus loves you. Merry Christmas. And I've done that every year, and they're like, oh, they just think I'm so wonderful, and it makes me good that they think I'm wonderful for that. But the point is like, it's a good godly thing when it's done in the right spirit to bless people.
It is.
And give gifts. It's better to give than receive. So I digress. Right. There's my story. You guys give me your theological take on that.
Well, it's always better to give without expecting anything in return. That's like, that's obviously the way to give a gift is to, without any strings attached, it's like, hey, I just want to give you a gift. I appreciate it, whatever, but without any expectation of return.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to have like there's certain little trinkets that you can like go along with and be like, oh, they got me that, and just to really hold on to it and cherish it. And even like with the monkey bread, every time those ladies will go to eat monkey bread, they will think of you. You know what I mean? Most likely. It's just special. I think it just kind of attaches a time that you spend with someone and what they mean to you in that particular space.
Right, and especially if you're a receiver of that gift, obviously you should, obviously want to appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's one of those things you got to appreciate when someone actually, hey, someone's actually thought about me to do this for me.
Yep.
And it can be a gift of not just a monetary thing. Come over and mow somebody's yard or do something for them, or you just kind of fulfill whatever need they have. Whatever you can even that's a good gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I do, man, I'm trying to find it because I took a class a while back on this and they're all running together now. But in my master's degree, we're talking about different cultures and how they function and they operate. And there's certain cultures that say, you give with the expectation to give something back.
Oh.
And that's culturally acceptable. And when I read about that, when I read it in the right way, it was like, no, I agree with that. Like, I agree with that from the standpoint is relationships should be reciprocal.
Yes.
Is that like, I'm giving you this, not that you have to give something back, but I am
not just one-sided.
Because we truly love each other. I am expecting someday I'm going to have your back.
Yep.
Just like you're going to have my back, just like I have your back.
Yep.
Or I'm giving to you because I'm expecting someday I'm going to be in need.
Yep.
And because we are in such good relationship.
Yep.
I'm expecting that
we got each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's a good thing too. Again, it's kind of done in the right spirit, right? It's like when we give, if it's done, because when you go through Proverbs, you pull up other gift verses and it's talking about like, hey, if you give with just bad intentions, that's not a good way to give.
Right.
But if you give with good intentions, right spirit and right heart, that's a good thing. So,
I agree.
Greg Walden.
Yep. Oh, I agree.
See, like so other ones in Proverbs, a gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. Like, isn't that a great quote? Mm-hmm. Like, think about that. A gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great. Ooh, like a gift can open up.
Yep.
Thing, it can open up the way. It can open up doors. It can open up relationships. And I'm talking about in a way, maybe you got someone in your life that like they're really closed off relationally. Mm-hmm. You've been trying to like this Christmas, right? Maybe it's coworker.
Yeah.
You've been trying to reach for Christ. I'm saying like maybe you could give them a gift.
Right.
And that might open the door.
Open the door. 100%.
Walk up to that person and be like, man, I was just thinking about you. This Christmas, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, even in the secular political world, a lot of times when leaders ambassadors go to another country, a lot of times they'll exchange gifts.
Yep.
It's kind of a symbol of goodwill, and obviously would hopefully to incur favor with the other party to whatever they're going to be negotiating with or trying to accomplish. So
I would say even words of encouragement too. I've got people to where it's like, I'm just thinking about them, and I'll just send them out a text of like, hey, you're just know that, you know what I mean? Stay encouraged, stay positive, and just keep it pushing, I don't know, just little nuggets.
Yeah, Proverbs 22, one who oppresses the poor to increase his wealth, and one who gives gifts to the rich, both come to poverty. So, there's an element of, giving with bad intentions that results in not the blessing of God.
Right.
So anyway, I just found that, that's just a funny little story, but I've just found that like when you give to people, what a difference that can make.
It does.
In the lives of people.
Yep.
Like I realized it was a couple of people's birthday the other day. So I ran quick to Scooters and got like 2 gift cards.
Right.
Real quick. Got to them as soon as I could. Like, oh man, happy birthday. I really appreciate you. And like, it's just watch someone's face.
Yeah.
Watch their demeanor when you do something nice and you give them a gift. It really is like a godly, beautiful thing. So
that's super important. Yeah. That's good for me to think about and chew on.
I'm just bringing this up because Christmas is coming up, guys, and I'm just excited about what you're going to give me for Christmas. What are you going to get Joe Biden? You and Joe Biden so close this year. Give him a good gift. He's on the way out, and he needs some encouragement.
Brand new Walker.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man,
do you even know what it is?
One of those like high tech ones. Has like Bluetooth and connectivity on it and stuff. It's built-in speakers on the handles.
He's gonna need a bib before long.
Or something. I don't know.
All right. That's all I got. You guys got any other things to throw out before we head to Thanksgiving?
Well,
Christian Men's Illustrated podcast.
Hey,
I missed your story. Sorry.
Yeah, got to do the.
Sorry. Close this out.
Got a couple of Thanksgiving disaster stories. Everybody has a disaster story for Thanksgiving. I can tell you mine from about 10 years ago, but I'll tell you these ones here. This one's called Uncle Bob Lends a Hand. And goes, I spent my first Thanksgiving with my husband in his Irish-Italian neighborhood in New York City. As a newcomer, I was placed in charge of boiling 15 pounds of potatoes. When they were ready, I picked up the pan and surveyed the crowded kitchen for a sink to which to drain them. My husband's elderly Uncle Bob guided me to a small half bathroom, grabbed the steaming pot. He started to drain the potatoes into the toilet, but he lost his grip on the lid, and all the potatoes tumbled into the toilet. I screamed, "Oh no!" But Uncle Bob began fishing potatoes out of the toilet. No one will ever know, he whispered. I just go out there and mash them. Sometime later during the meal, my husband's Aunt Tot leaned over and whispered, "Your potatoes are delicious. I think you're going to fit in this family quite nicely."
Well, so he pulled them out of the toilet and mashed them right away. Okay,
pulled them out of the toilet and
I think I'd be okay if you dropped them in the toilet, then boiled them, then mashed them. I'd be okay with that.
They were already boiled. Yeah. So, and the next one's called a close shave. A close shave. I prepared my first Thanksgiving dinner ever in 1960. My husband was a ship's pilot and was not due home until around 3 a.m. Thanksgiving Day. So I ordered a 25-pound fresh-killed turkey from the local butcher. It was delivered in a paper bag the day before Thanksgiving. I put it in the refrigerator to be dealt with later. That night I fed, bathed, and put to bed our 3 children. I set the table for 16 guests and made the stuffing, sweet potatoes, twice-baked potatoes, cranberry sauce, apple pie, pumpkin pie, and more. It was 2 a.m. before I took the turkey out of the refrigerator. As I opened the bag, I nearly fainted. There was the turkey, feathers and all. I tried to pull the feathers out, but it didn't work. At that hour, there was no one I could call for help. I was beginning to get hysterical. I went into the bathroom to get some tissues to dry my tears when I saw the answer to my problem right on the bathroom counter. You can imagine my husband's surprise an hour later when he walked into the house and saw his very tired wife crying and shaving the turkey with his Norelco electric shaver.
What?
Oh my gosh.
P.S. It worked fine, and my husband is still using his electric shaver.
I think I missed the beginning of that story. So she just stuffed a live turkey in the.
Well, the butcher, she got a turkey, a fresh killed turkey from the butcher.
Okay.
But I guess
Wasn't.
They
it
didn't
still had the
defeather
feathers.
it.
Yeah, they didn't defeather. So still had the feathers on. So she shaved the feathers off with this.
Going back to butchers from top of the
Yep.
top of the show there.
And then of course my horror story. Everybody has. I'm sure everybody has a horror story. Mine was about 10 or about almost 20 years ago. It was about almost 20 years ago. It's been a long time ago. I went to my mom's house and had Thanksgiving dinner. Well, about midnight that night, man, I was hurling up like in the toilet, like I thought I was going to die that night, dude. I was hurling into the toilet, like, oh man. And I called next morning, man. I said, Mom, I got sick like crazy last night. She goes, yeah, your dad used 3-year-old oil to cook the turkey in. I'm like, oh, nice.
There you go. Let's end on that. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Don't eat potatoes from the toilet.
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe your Tesla, Kim and the Optimus can have a great Thanksgiving together as well. I don't know. Talk to you guys later.
Good.